Well, that itself is not quite good enough. What Malcolm did do was to give the children 3 goes. So we create another box, another variable here, which we'll call try. And what we have to do is to set it to 0 every time we go to a new child. So we start off at 0. So Malcolm asks the question, what is 11 times 6? He knows the answer is 66. The child says 56. It's a wrong answer, so we add 1 to try and upgrade it. That's his first go. So we need to introduce a new instruction within the body of the program. Say 32, try equals 0, so that every time we have a new child, that gets reset to 0. Now, this is our loop, and every time we go round the loop, we want to increase try by 1. And there's this curious-looking formula here, which simply means every time we go through the loop, add 1 to the variable try. And we want down here, he did it until the reply was correct, or try was equal to 3. In other words, he gave the child 3 tries. But what else he did was, after 3 tries, then he told the child the correct answer. And we put in one final statement which says, if reply, and this less than and greater than means not equal to, if reply is not equal to correct, then print, in inverted commas once again, the correct answer is correct. Well, that program would run quite well, but he wants to run it for every child in the class. So he's got 25 children in the class, so we come across a different type of loop. This particular loop here was repeated until certain conditions were fulfilled. This loop we're going to repeat a fixed number of times. In this case, 25 times. There are 25 children in the class. So right up at the top of the program here, we simply say, for child equals, and that's a new variable, child again, child equals 1 to 25, and right down at the bottom here, next child, and that will continue to repeat this program until 25 children have had their shot. So let's try and run it. What is 4 times 1? 3. I really know the answer to that, but it really tests out some of the branches in the program. What is 4 times 1? 2. What is 4 times 1? 6. Wrong. The correct answer is 4, which is indeed correct. What is 4 times 3? 12. Right. Well, this is a relatively simple program and it works all right, but when it runs, it's rather badly laid out. You can see these gaps here, you can see the confusion, but it is quite fun, and it would help give a child some sort of practice in doing their multiplication tables, at least up to 12. But however clever we make it, we'd still be only using those 3 program ideas of sequence, branch and loop. And that will be true whether we program it in BASIC, in Forth, in Fortran, or any other programming language. And for that matter, any other dialect of BASIC. This is a particular dialect of BASIC, there are many of them, but the basic fundamentals still apply. But although much ready-written software is of poor quality, there's a good deal of well-designed, well-written material which the user likes and uses, and that really is the final test. But today, graphics, colour and sound all help to make the use of computers attractive and so easy to use that even children in the classroom enjoy them. Our researcher, Catherine Robbins, has been back to that primary school in South London.
The school has only had a computer for about a term, but already most of the staff and most of the children have had some experience of using it, mainly in small groups. Some of their software has been specially written for use in schools. One of the most popular programs is this simulation, which uses low-resolution graphics to represent a little kingdom beside the Yellow River, which occasionally overflows its banks.
You get a census result of a little village which you're the owner of, and you have to decide how many people to put in the fields, how many people to defend the dike, and how many people to look after the village. There's a band of thieves who lives in the mountains who keep attacking the village to try and get the rice.
This is Kingdom we found fitted quite well into the overall topic that we're covering with our upper school this term, which is treasure. We've told the children that the treasure that they've got to guard is the rice, and that they're responsible for that treasure.
The thieves always come first. Yeah.
Oh no! They're going to be killed off by your decision. Yeah.
They're very uninhibited about the computer. They are very willing to ask questions. They obviously make mistakes, but they don't seem to have any of the fears that the adults have at all.
I thought, oh, help. The thought of approaching it, it all seemed a completely different experience or anything I'd ever dealt with before. It was the thought, first of all, of mastering the keyboard, not being a typist of any sort, and also becoming familiar with the language involved.
3,000 we can this year.
I thought I was going to get it back all muddled up and everything. I was afraid to press any of the buttons or something. Oh no, I'm going to get it wrong. It's sort of frightening.
The games are quite educational. There's quite a few logic problems for them, some maths problems, even spelling problems.
And this spelling program gives an instant reward for a correct answer.
Oh no.
Oh, it's called Brick Up. It says something like a tropical bird with coloured wings. You would say PA, and you would spell the rest out. Parrot.
Right now, get ready to fire.
Correct.
Oh
no. Carpet.
C-A.
Where's R?
R. What about
P.
I?
No, carpet.
E-T.
Also.
Sometimes you tend to come across the words when you have to write have to write exercises or write sentences, and that, and you just sort of think, oh, I can remember how to spell that from the game.
Now, where are we now? We're on there, aren't we? No, we're not. So it's 9.
Crash is a program designed to help them plan ahead and think logically.
We want 9 up. No, we want to put 10 up for safety.
No.
Yes, we want 2.
Then we'll
we want 2 left first.
But it's also designed to let them program the computer themselves, using a simple language with instructions like L for left and F for forward.
You print into the computer directions for it to try and go through the maze and hit the target.
How does that help you with your schoolwork, then?
I don't think it does.
Well, so far the children seem to think that the computer's primary use has been for play. But what do the staff feel about its long-term educational value in schools like this?
It's got great potential. Hopefully we could like to do some programming ourselves and get some more software. And it has great educational value.
I think it's here to stay, and it's something that we've got to, become used to and obviously move forward with it.
Yes! A vote of confidence there. Most of the software you see running in this series is available from one source or another, and you can write in for details. Those 3 programs, for example, are soon to be transmitted through CFAX as part of BBC's new telesoftware service. Well, next week, we'll be looking at how computers handle words and at the writing of long programs. Until then, goodbye.